So thank you very much, Suman, for participating actively in this workshop. And maybe we can start with a couple of questions. If you can tell us where you're coming from, what is your position, and how is your work connected to evaluation?
Good afternoon, Zara. So, as you said, yes, Suman, and I'm currently in Jakarta, Indonesia. About myself, I was born and went to school in India. I've lived, worked, and studied in Germany. Our nuclear family is based or settled in Austria, and as I said, I'm currently in Jakarta, Indonesia. And professionally, I'm working as an evaluation consultant with a few international organizations, with UN agencies. So basically conducting evaluations. I started working with the evaluation office of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. And since the past few years, I'm working as an independent evaluation consultant and conducting evaluation. So that's basically a direct relation to evaluation.
Can you tell us a bit, why did you set your eyes on the IPDET offers?
Yes, so this goes back a little bit, to be precise, 10 years. So I attended the very first IPDET workshop in actually 10 years ago, September 2012. And so it was a one-week IPDET workshop conducted by the godmother and godfather of IPDET. That's Linda and Ray.
Wow.
And Ray. Yes. And that laid a very good foundation for the coming times. So and my work in evaluation, and well, for this workshop, so I keep an eye on the information sent by IPDET and what's going on. And I saw that during the past few years or lately, online seminars, workshops are being offered, and I thought this one was very interesting, and said, okay, after some time, it's always good to refresh knowledge and to learn new points. So I said, okay, let me give it a try, and I registered for this workshop. So that's why I did that.
Okay, thank you so much. And what were your initial expectations, before participating or taking part in this workshop?
One hears about meta evaluation, and one can imagine what it is. I mean, working in the field of evaluation, you can imagine what it is. But having not done it myself, and it's related to evaluation, so there's always this thing of wanting to learn how to do it in a proper and structured manner. And this is exactly what was being offered. And I said, when you look at a project, and when the project is being planned, so you look at, and if the person or the people were involved in planning the project, if they would know how their project is being evaluated later, it would already help them in the planning and probably enhance the quality of the project. So it's a bit similar for me. I was also interested in this other aspect besides, learning how to do meta evaluations in a proper and structured manner, but to also see how are evaluations evaluated and how do you go about it to say, okay, maybe I could incorporate some learnings now itself in my work to enhance the quality of my work. So that was also one of my motivational factors.
So far, what's your impression of the content that has been provided to you as participants?
So, well, the content, I think, is very well thought of. It starts, of course, with a definition of meta evaluation. I mean, because everyone kind of like has an idea of what it could be, but it's good to know how is it defined in literature and what it is actually, and what is entailed in it. So we started with the definition of meta-evaluation, and then we go on to learn different aspects, what are the criteria, what about the rating scales and the guidelines. And then, each topic was, I felt so far, built upon the previous topic. And that's something which I really liked. So altogether, I felt the content is really very well prepared and very well presented. So I really like the content so far.
Can you tell us a bit about the didactical approach that you have seen so far during this workshop?
The didactical approach, so Stefan, that's Dr. Stefan Silvestrini, he's prepared it in such an excellent manner, and it's an excellent mix of theory and practice, Q&A sessions and discussions, individual work as well as group work. So and it's he presents a topic, and then we go on to we have the Q&A session, and then we discuss, and then we immediately go on to practice, putting into practice what we've learned. So and time, it's sometimes I felt at the end of the session, oh, it's over, like time just flew, because he's put in this really good mix of everything. So, and then you read, you learn, and you hear, you discuss, and you put into practice. So I felt this mix was really very well put forward in this course.
That's nice to hear. And do you have a particular activity so far that you have liked the most, for example?
I would say that's a very difficult question. So I was very impressed by this website where we do the work together in groups. So I had never seen it before, and he also gave a short introduction about this. And regarding the activities, I like the group work because you have the group, you have different people in the group. And I also like this in the end now that everything's put together. And then suddenly you see like, oh, wow, I mean, the whole matrix is done. But the group work was very nice, and it also worked quite well. We are all really in different countries, and we've just learned a new topic, and we're putting it into practice immediately, and we're working in a group. So that was, the group work was also very nice.
And by the way, about the other participants, have you had, during this group work, a bit of the opportunity to exchange with the other participants?
I saw that, in the very beginning when I received the confirmation email, and then I think there was an introductory email, and I read in the email there are like these number of participants and just one lesser number of countries. So the people are like in, I think, 15 different countries or so. And that was what hit me in the beginning. I was like, oh, wow. I mean, in so many different countries. And for the group work, when we were working together, so in the beginning, we just had a short exchange, and we said, okay, where are you right now? Because we had already probably forgotten in most of the cases where each person is based. And I saw that one of the participants has added me on LinkedIn, and I thought, oh, I think that's a good idea actually to do it within the group, to kind of add each other. And I think since everyone's working, and we had a group work to finish in time, which was also challenging. So we focused on the work, but we also had one was very good in making these text boxes, and we were very impressed. So we said, how do you do it? So we went beyond the material which was asked to do in the group work. And he even showed us how to do it faster and how to do it. So we exchanged some tips and tricks, which is why I think ours was looking a bit more professional than if I would have done it on my own. So yeah, and I don't know, maybe towards the end there will be more exchange of maybe some more talk and conversations. But at present, yeah, we focused more on the work.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you will have more time at the end
Yes.
of the workshop. But has it been a positive experience for you so far?
Definitely, definitely. So I believe in lifelong learning, and I've attended other online trainings, and they are more like self-paced. So you can do them at all possible earthly hours or unearthly hours of the day. And this one is like more structured. So initially I was thinking, I hope it works because I'm more used to like working at, whenever I feel like and attending the course whenever I feel like. So I was thinking like, this is more structured and compact, but I mean, you just have to schedule it and then you tell them. It's been a very positive experience. And it's like also like a highlight of the day. And you're just like, okay, you finish everything. And you're like, for me at least, because it's in the evening. So I'm like, okay, finish everything. And then I'm ready and set for the workshop and ready to hear more and work more and do more. So yes, it's been a very positive experience.
So far, what you have learned from the workshop, do you think it's definitely applicable to your work after the completion of this workshop?
Yes, for sure. Because I mean, when you look at the criteria, and we were working on this point yesterday. So, for example, the criteria for the evaluation of evaluations, and we had the topic methodology. So when you look at it and you realize, okay, this is actually important also for external validity. So amongst others. So I think this is something which I can implement during my planning of my evaluations, during conducting, as well as while writing the report. To say, okay, because sometimes you have as an evaluator, you focus on certain parts of the report which you probably think is more important, or this is what it's about. And then you realize that it is that, but there are other points which also contribute to credibility, the validity of your evaluation and your findings and your report. So yes, definitely, this has been very helpful and it will be implemented.
It's good to hear. And another question.
Sure.
Will you come back to IPDET maybe for one of the two workshops that are also offered for this year or for next year?
Definitely, yes. So I will try to make it this year if possible. And I will try to make it, I already have my eye on one of the workshops next year. So after starting this one, and this has been a very positive experience so far. So I was like, yes, I think I can do it, because it's always, you're doing something for the first time. So not an online training, but this type of structured online training. And you're not sure how it is, but this has been such a positive experience. So I immediately looked at the schedule, what else is offered. I was like, yes, I would like to try this year, and I would definitely like to try again next year.
Okay, thank you. And the last question, just to close this very nice interview and this nice chat that we have to share with other participants also. Can you share with us what has been so far the highlight of the week during this workshop?
Yes, so this is an equally difficult question, like the one about the favorite activity, because there have been so many. I mean, with this, just this effect of, oh wow! I mean, you hear something and suddenly it makes sense, and you're like, oh, okay, this is what this is about, and this is the topic. And as I said, also the co-working website. And then what I also liked was we were working yesterday on this one topic, and the other groups were working on 3 other topics. And then when you and Stefan put it together, and suddenly we have this whole framework, and there's this moment of, oh, wow. And also when you realize, okay, so this is actually the proper and structured way of doing it. And then you feel, okay, I think I can do it. And, starting with 1 report and maybe a smaller number of reports initially. So, and when you get that feeling, that's a highlight. And yes, and the group works were very good, and the presentations were very good. And with each topic, which was presented, was each time a light bulb going on, like, oh, wow. So I can't really say like one highlight, because I really like different aspects of the training so far.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Suman, for sharing with us your experience and your opinions on this online workshop. I appreciate this effort.
I would also like to thank Stefan for preparing and offering this workshop. And you, Zara, for your help and being there and supporting us with everything and helping us out, and to the IPDET organizers, that they are continuing this and offering this to a really wide spectrum of people all over the world, and that we have the possibility to, wherever we are in the world, to participate in this. And of course, I sometimes still think of Linda and Ray and the good times we had during the previous workshop. Thank you very much. And thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.